Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Patterson and this is my final project presentation. Through my learning in this course, I've developed an assessment philosophy. I believe that assessments must be meaningful. They should support our goal of creating independent and successful readers. If an assessment doesn't give you meaningful data, or if it doesn't help to drive instruction, then it's not worth our time. I also believe that assessments should cover the full range of a student's reading development. This was definitely new learning for me. When I think about assessments, I think about things that cover the big five and skills. But now I understand that we also need to assess student motivation and self-efficacy, all the sides of a reader. I spent a lot of time coming up with my professional development philosophy, and I believe that's because I've been in some amazing PD sessions that were really motivating, and I've also been in PD sessions that were frustrating. I believe that PD should be tied to the needs of the students and helping teachers to meet those needs. Nobody likes to be involved in something that's not meaningful to them or meaningful to their kids. They want to use their time wisely. I also believe that PD should be engaging, meaningful, and collaborative. I think everybody learns best when they're in hands-on situations, getting to learn from other educators. I also believe that PD should have some kind of follow-up and support system. I've been to PD sessions that were really awesome, but then when there was no follow-up or extra help afterwards, or we didn't come back and reflect or meet again, the main idea just gets lost, and sometimes it doesn't go as planned. So I think there definitely needs to be some kind of follow-up and plan for supporting teachers when they take what they've learned back to their classroom. It was really hard to put into one statement what my philosophy as a reading specialist would be because they just have such a large responsibility in a school. But as a reading specialist, my goal would be to support teachers so that all students have a chance to be successful readers. And to do those things, I would build relationships with all of the other coworkers and teachers throughout the school, as well as the students, develop meaningful PD sessions, analyze data, and understand the coaching steps, as well as staying current with reading research. So I came up with this professional development plan, and I really had my own school in mind as I was developing it. The audience would be teachers in grades 1st through 3rd, and this PD is based all around fluency. Right now in our school, we have a weakness in oral reading fluency. There's a large number of students who are just not ready before moving to 3rd and 4th grade. They're not meeting their goals before moving on to the higher grades. And it's a big issue because they're not ready to take on comprehension in 3rd and 4th grade and move forward. So we've been trying to solve this problem. Our objective for the PD would be that teachers would create a small group action plan that addresses their individual group or students' instructional needs for fluency. So here's my plan for facilitating. In the beginning, I would want to go over the learning objectives. I would probably have the group read over them and have some group discussions about our goal for the session. And then I would move on to the first activity. The first activity is a concept map activity. I stole this from one of the activities that I use in my classroom. It's a great activity where you can get some formative assessment information. You can kind of get to know what the group already knows about fluency, and you can get to know who your expert teachers are in the room who already have some great fluency strategies they're using. And go ahead and share this information out with the group. So in this activity, each group would work as a team. They would get chart paper. They would have markers, and they would be guided to create a concept map about fluency. This map would include kind of what fluency is to them and some examples of fluency strategies. And after each group has had time to make their map, then they would get to share out. and each group would share out their map, and as they were sharing out their map, all the others who were listening could jot down some ideas and strategies, and it's just a great way to have everybody collaborate. I mean, you learn a lot from your team teachers about strategies and things that they use. So after every group got to share out, then as the facilitator, I would kind of get to know, okay, we have a lot of strategies and we have a lot of expert teachers, and everybody now has a good baseline for fluency strategies. Or I might find out that the group is really lacking in knowledge and lacking in strategies, and before moving on, we need to go deeper and we need to look at some more resources, or we need to, pull out some more strategies. And we might use the Reading Rockets website or some other sources and really just dig into finding more strategies before we were ready to move on to the next part of the activity. So now that we've all shared out fluency strategies and we've all got some kind of basic understanding and some ideas, now would be the time that I would bring them into the small group action plans. And I would begin with a model. So I might have some mock data, just a small group of students. And as a group, we would look at these students and identify where their struggles were. And as a group, we would come up with an action plan using some of the strategies that we learned about in the before activity. And I would want to do this all together so that when everybody got ready to make their own small group action plan, they've already kind of worked through the steps and got some ideas and seen how the process works. So after creating the model action plan together, then I would release everybody to have time for looking at their own individual students. They would have time to reflect and choose the strategies and to develop the action plan that will be best for the needs of their students. And I would walk around as facilitator, and I would aid teachers and answer questions. And then, after we had had time for them to develop their action plans, then I would end the session with a rate your learning. One of my favorite strategies to use is 1 to 5. I would let the teachers use sticky notes, and on the sticky note they can, rate themselves. 1 being, oh my gosh, I don't understand what's going on, and 5 being, I'm ready to go back and use this in my classroom. After letting them rate themselves, I would take up the sticky notes, and that would kind of let me know, who needed some follow-up and some help, who needs to meet again, maybe in a smaller group, and talk about what we can do. And last, I listed my materials. We need chart paper, markers, sticky notes, fluency, menu, graphic organizer, small group action plan templates. I would need mock data, and teachers would need to bring their small group data. So my justification for having this PD is that the historical data supports it. Our historical data in 2nd grade is showing a large number of students ending 2nd grade still struggling with oral reading fluency. And this issue is leading to problems in 3rd and 4th grade when students are beginning to work on those bigger comprehension strategies and trying to move on to reading to learn. Also, a lot of teachers in our school are expressing that they want more strategies, that they have a desire to learn, and they want to know ways that they can help improve oral reading fluency in their classroom. So my last slide is all about connecting theory to the things that we've been discussing throughout this course. And I immediately thought of Lev Vygotsky and his theory of social constructivism. It's all about learning through social interactions with others. And I thought, how perfect is that as the role of a reading specialist? That's what it's all about, interacting and collaborating with others. From the beginning of the process of coaching all the way to the end. I also thought about scaffolding, which was another piece of Vygotsky's theory. I mean, the reading specialist role is to assist teachers and support them as they're trying to meet their goals and meeting them where they're at in their classroom. So I definitely thought that his theory was present throughout all of the areas that we've been discussing. Well, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching and for listening.